What's good, Reds? It's match day. Welcome back to Liverpool Latest. I'm your host, Matt. If you enjoy the video today, please leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you're new here, subscribe to never miss an upload from us here on the channel. I got a couple things I'd like to talk about today. Liverpool might be making a move for Junior Krupi. Calvin Ramsay may or may not be in exile at this rate by Arne Slot, and Jeremy Jacquet's injury seems to be requiring surgery. I'll get to that a little bit more. And last but certainly not least, we will be touching on the Sunderland match, which will be occurring later today. First and foremost, Junior Krupi. Let's unpack it, shall we? 19 years old, part of Bournemouth. Already has 8 goals in 20 Premier League games, which is pretty impressive for someone of that age. He's a very mobile forward. He's sharp in the box. He's confident in carrying the ball, and he thrives in transition, something that obviously fits a bit of Arne Slot's profile of what he's looking for. There's one problem. This gentleman has an $80 million price tag. Now, is it real or is it a headline inflation? I'm not really sure. It feels like it could be inflated because obviously the media is going to run with whatever they're going to run with, but it could also be real in the sense that Bournemouth are setting such an astronomical price for him that they don't want to sell him, which I wouldn't blame them. If someone's scoring that well for them at such a young age, why would we take him? Why would we send him away to a rival, a bigger club? It's like no young players, want to play here. That would be a message that they would be sending in doing so. So, realistically, let's be fair here. A landing zone that Liverpool can go with is 50 to 65 million, so somewhere in between, probably in the more of the upper echelon of the lower 60 million, would probably feel a bit more plausible. Again, does Krupi fit Liverpool's model right now under Slot? He fits because apparently he's very press resistant. He's comfortable playing off of the shoulder of the pitch. He's a direct runner, something Liverpool lack outside of Salah because, well, frankly, nobody does what Salah does on the field that we have right now. And of course, his age profile fits what Arne Slot is looking for as far as, because obviously we're a bit of an older team. So he's trying to have a bit of a youth movement, which is funny considering he sent out a lot of our younger players before the season started, which is hilarious to me. But the question is, are Liverpool going to hesitate like they have been over the course of the last month or so? I mean, look at the transfer window. They didn't do anything. The other problem is Real Madrid and Chelsea also have interest in him as well. So the verdict on this is he's a real talent. I think that goes without saying. He has a logical fit to what Liverpool are trying to do for the future. But obviously the price is currently something that is questionable at the least. And it is a matter of if they want to make that kind of move and spend that kind of money. They might have a bit more to spend because it seems like Calvin Ramsay, the poor bastard, is on his way out. Guy hasn't played in like 3 or 4 years. Maybe started one match earlier this season in a other competition outside of the Premier League. Maybe he even subbed on. I don't even remember. I know he's played at least one game in some capacity this season. But it looks like by the headlines I've been reading, Calvin Ramsay is more or less done. And Slot certainly was not vague about this. He more or less shut the door on him and told him, don't let it hit your ass on the way out. Saying, I've chosen other players until now, and that's also what I'm going to do tomorrow. So, clearly Ramsay is not trusted, certainly not a short-term plan, and he's not even an emergency option. So, whether we consider this to be disrespect for Ramsay, Arne Slot just being stubborn, not giving another player a chance who could prove themselves, I have no idea. The problem is we have nobody in the position at right back because Frimpong is hurt currently. Bradley's out for the rest of the year. Szoboszlai is suspended for, I don't know, everybody keeps saying it's this game, but I don't know if he's going to be suspended for more games considering it was a straight red card he received again in the City match. And Joe Gomez doesn't know, we don't know what's going on with him. He's just back in training. There's a chance Slot might send him in, but I highly doubt it. So essentially, he's a fifth choice right now. And if I'm being frank, he might actually be more than a fifth. He might even be a sixth choice because they can easily throw. They've thrown Endo in that pool as well. So he might even be a sixth choice. So the poor guy doesn't even have an opportunity to play the position because they just they don't trust him, and it sucks. It really sucks for Calvin Ramsay. I feel bad for the guy, but it seems like they're going to have to buy him a right back in the summer at some point, and clearly Slot values reliability over upside, and it seems like he feels like he has reliable enough players to take the position, which I very much throw into doubt. I don't believe in this constant pivoting of if one guy can play a position, throw him in there. Here's the thing. The whole idea of not throwing natural right backs into the position is what I think is hurting us in the end, because clearly it's more work for the midfield to do, and it's going to be a little bit harder for the forwards and the strikers. So essentially, Slot is saying stop asking about Calvin Ramsay. Meanwhile, the poor guy has been basically sitting there waiting for an opportunity. If that's the case, I don't really know what Slot is looking for, because all someone needs is an opportunity to prove themselves. Is he not showing up in training? I don't know. But lo and behold, be prepared for a Calvin Ramsay exit, I say, in the end of the season. And be prepared for an entrance that will be a little bit of a worrisome one, considering that Jeremy Jacquet is going to be requiring surgery, from what I have been reading, which is not shocking at all. If the injury to the shoulder is as bad as everybody's been making it out to be, surgery was probably going to be inevitable. The question is, how long is that going to take? Well, it's happened it happened like what, late January or early February it is now, about a few days ago. With any luck, he'll be back in time for August at the start of the season, if we are lucky. Usually this thing takes several months. I've seen this from a lot of wrestlers. I watch a lot of wrestling, professional wrestling, WWE, and people who I've seen had shoulder injuries, very bad ones. They take upwards of maybe 6 to 8 months to come back, maybe more. So I would expect this to be at least 6 month hiatus for Jacquet, at least until the first week or so of the season. And we'll see what happens from there. Thankfully, it's happened in the shoulder. Not that I ever wish injury on anybody, but thankfully it's happened in the shoulder and not anywhere in the lower extremities like the legs. So that means that he has hope to recover quite well. And I'm not saying he has to play hurt, but it might be if somehow he got cleared, they might throw him on the pitch just to see what happens. But I don't know. I'm that's got to be a outlandish take, if you ask me. If somebody is asking for that, I'm not saying I'm asking for that, but I do wonder where the club lies as far as how fit they want him to be before they throw him on the field. Obviously, it's a different situation from Leone and Bradley, who had horrible lower extremity injuries. Leone with an ACL, and Bradley with his knee. I think it was his ACL too, or something happened with his knee, and we're just glad it's not another one of those. Thank God. And with any luck, Leone will also be part of the team next season. Granted that everyone expects Konate to be gone, so we'll just have to see what happens there. All in all, definitely will require surgery. Could have been a lot worse. What shocks me, though, which I want to add, is that apparently the Ren manager got sacked just a few days after the fact. Apparently, as of like yesterday or the day before, Ren sacked Jeremy Jacquet's manager, and apparently he's had a bit of a reputation for having players injured over the course of the season over in the French league. So I don't know what that's about, but I thought that would be interesting to add. But luckily, in reality, it has nothing to do with us. It has absolutely nothing to do with us, but it's a bit of drama that I wanted to touch on. Speaking of drama, Liverpool plays Sunderland today at Stadium of Light. And I read something today that scared me, and that Sunderland have not lost a single home game this season. Or at least they've had a very positive record at home this season. So if that's the case, I don't expect much to happen for us. Even if we're sitting at 6th place, even if United and Chelsea tied or drew today, today's Tuesday, by the way, even if they drew and they got a point out of it, they're still a little bit ahead of us. So we not only do we have to win, we have to keep winning if we're even going to be remotely close to making it the Champions League contention. Here's the other problem. I did a little digging, and I was trying to remind myself what happened in the last match and the last time we played Sunderland at Anfield. December 3rd was that faithful date, and in the 67th minute, Talby scored, making it 1-0 Sunderland. In the 81st minute, their own guy, Nordi Bukili, scored an own goal and gave a goal to Liverpool. So we didn't even win this game. I thought we won this game. I completely forgotten at this rate. Everything just seems to blend together. But we didn't even win this match. We drew. And none of our guys even scored, which is also a very, very troublesome fact here. So I'm not saying I got to play doom and gloom, but I don't have a lot of hope going into this match, considering their pretty solid home record and the fact that they've been doing very well for themselves in the Premier League. They're sitting at the 9th place right now in the middle of the table. We need to beat them. They need to beat us, but we certainly need to beat them. And that's going to be the hard part because obviously Dominic Szoboszlai is suspended for this match with the red card. There's a bunch of major defensive questions we have as a result of that. Is Joe Gomez going to play? Who's going to play at the right back position? I have a starting 11, which I'll get to in a second. I wouldn't say good news because, again, I don't want anybody to ever get injured, but Sunderland is also having a couple of people who are injured coming into the game with, Granit Xhaka and Jocelyn Tabi are unavailable with ankle injuries, and Bertrand Traore is apparently, he might be a question mark going into it. So naturally, I think Slot's going to play this with control and patience, which is equal to snortum and boredom. That's essentially what we're going to get out of this game. I genuinely have no hope. I have no faith that Sloth can get us a win in this match. If we couldn't score in the first time, I doubt we'll be able to score the second time, especially with how much we have been struggling with scoring goals this season and how much we have been allowing late goals to be conceded as of late. And of course, knowing me and how much I question my own team, I asked AI, hey, what's a most likely outcome to happen for this team, this game? They say 2-1 Liverpool, ChatGPT. I don't agree with that. I think this is going to be either another 1-1 game or potentially a 1-0 game in favor of Sunderland. But that's just me being pessimistic after such a horrendous display against City this past Sunday. Who's going to be in net, you might ask? Well, naturally, it's going to be Alisson Becker. As much of a boneheaded decision as he made, he's still the best guy we got in that position. The defense is where I draw a couple of question marks. Right now, Joe Gomez is in that place for me. but I doubt he's going to play. So if he doesn't play, Curtis Jones will probably be taking that position instead. Van Dijk in the right center back position, Endo in the left center back. I don't think Konate plays, and if he does, Endo probably will move to the right back position if Joe Gomez is not fit. And in the left back, you can probably play Kirkez, but I'm going to go Andy Robertson just to give Kirkez a bit of a rest after such a because I think he played that whole game last time. In the midfield, McAllister probably is going to be the guy in there. Ryan Gravenberch, of course. And again, the question is, does Curtis Jones go in the midfield or not? And again, I have no idea because it all depends on if Joe Gomez actually plays or not. So I'm throwing this in there as an asterisk, but I don't have any. I don't. It's not a it's not a choice I'm confident in. Let's put it this way. As far as the attack goes, Salah I think has to be there. I'm throwing in Verts at left, and I want to put Ekitike in. Cody Gakpo has been nothing more than a hinderment to our offensive, any offensive press that we have tried to make, especially in the last game. I just think I'm more confident with that front three more than anything. Hell, you could even throw Rio in there, to be honest with you. You could probably put Verts in Curtis Jones's position in midfield and throw Rio in, and that might work as well. So that's what I have for today in Liverpool Latest. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment down below with your thoughts, and of course, subscribe. We'll see what happens. Up the Reds. You'll never walk alone. Let's just win, damn it. Please.